Hello, seedlings. What's good? Can't hear you, so I don't know. All right, so today I just wanted to, share with y'all me repotting Evina. If it looks like I just jumped into this shit really fucking quick, it's because this is a pre-recorded video and I'm doing a voiceover right now. So if it seems like I'm moving mad fast, it's because it's on 2x speed. Okay, I wasn't trying to drag y'all through how long the actual video was, which was literally 40 something minutes. Very motherfucking long. So trust me, you didn't want to see this on regular speed. Okay, so since I already started, I already have, the pot that I'm going to put her in, which is Minty's old pot, already on the side. I've already loosened up the soil. I wanted to see, I want to look up some facts, some things that I didn't know about Kenyan violets, and share them with y'all, because as y'all know, this is a learning journey for me. I'm learning at the same time that y'all learning. Something I have learned is that if your African violet's leaves are dark and they look healthy but they don't have any blooms, it could be because of a lack of sunlight. Now, if it is blooming but it has pale leaves, it could come from having too much sunlight. On top of that, they also prefer a temperature between 65 degrees and 80 degrees. Now, something I will say is that it's getting a little colder here in Georgia. We're going back to lows of 50s and highs of 70s or highs of 60s out here. And I did a little research here and there as well, throughout the time, and I find that they can still withstand colder temperatures. I believe with Evina, she can withstand up to 40 degrees. The lowest that she has experienced thus far has been, I want to say like maybe 49 or like 50, somewhere around there, and she's been fine. One thing I will say, Evina seems to be a tough little plant. I didn't even notice I put it in the pot, y'all. Okay, I put it in the pot, and now this is me trying to separate the two sides of the plant, because it is in fact like two separate plants. It seems that they put into one, and then you'll see as I keep stabbing violently the plant, I promise you I wasn't trying to hurt her, that they'll separate, and then I'll try to push them as far apart as possible in order to give the plant a little bit more growing room, since it is all pushed against each other, as you can see. But another thing I learned is that they do well in with about 80% humidity, and that they're well suited for indoor environments. But out in the wild, they do grow in East Africa, and they have a tendency to end up covered by like forest canopy. And so that's probably why, they're well suited for indoor environments as well, because it kind of, mimics, and in the forest, they only get some rays of sunlight here and there. So that's why they make some good house plants on top of that. As for humidity, I live, again, out here in Georgia. I don't know why I paused, like I forgot where I'm staying at. But out here in Georgia, it is humid, so I don't have any issues with that. I would say probably if you living in the desert, if you like in Arizona or Colorado or anything like that, you might end up having to supply it with a humidifier. None of my plants have really had any issues, I feel like, with humidity, except for these goddamn mushrooms I've been trying to grow forever. Y'all, side note, I'm on like the third batch of lion's mane mushrooms trying to grow it, and they keep going bad. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing wrong. I'm trying so hard. I promise you I'm trying. But anywho, I was able to get two small little things off of the most recent one, and it wasn't even that much. It wasn't, because the rest started going bad, so I just salvaged what I could. But anywho, getting off track. Hey y'all, so I just wanted to pop in and talk to you about real quick a beautiful puppy named Limoja. Now, Limoja here is ready to find herself her new forever home. Limoja is currently in a foster home right now. Luckily, she was able to get out the shelter, but it's only temporary, so she needs somewhere to go permanently. It's been said that she's easy to handle and that she's a real happy girl, real playful, and loves to bury her treats. Why? We don't know. Lamoja's currently 48 pounds, and she's the perfect size for some cuddles. Maybe you want to curl up with one body next to bed, love an animal. They'll give you unconditional love instead of that janky ass man or the janky ass lady that they're not gonna treat you right, boo. So get you an animal that's gonna love you forever. Leave them bitches alone, okay? They're not gonna love you unconditionally like Lamoja's gonna love you. But yeah, so she's currently if you want to go ahead and find out more about her, just look her up on Decap Animal Shelter. You can pop up over there, get some more information on her. I will drop the link below in my description so you can check out her profile yourself and set up maybe a meet and greet if possible. But yeah, I just want to say that real quick, okay? Almost forgot to mention, me and my partner will sponsor Lamoja's adoption fee for you, so what you waiting on? As for how we'll coordinate taking care of Lamoja's adoption fee, my Instagram is down in the caption. Please go ahead and DM me on there if you do decide to adopt Lamoja, so we can go ahead and take care of that for you, okay? And we're back. Don't mind my face in that last clip. I know I looked like I was being held hostage or some shit, but I promise you I wasn't. I just had to do that same clip like 5 times because I kept tripping over my words. But anywho, finally we've separated the 2 plants so we can put them in their respective places, okay? Now, as for other things I've learned, another thing, do not mist an African violet's foliage, which, of course, I had already misted her like a few times by the time I learned that. Her leaves, not the soil, the leaves. It's fine to mist the soil. Do not mist the leaves. Why? Because if you mist the leaves, it can cause permanent leaf spotting. And I don't know if you guys can have been able to tell in any of the videos on Avina, she does have like a little bit of spotting, because I'm pretty sure it's because of the misting. It's not very noticeable, but it's there. So definitely something important to avoid. Now here's one that I did not know of until like a minute ago, which is that African violets are actually more susceptible to crown rot. Now, what is crown rot? Crown rot is basically root rot, but at the crown level of the plant, which is a section of the plant that's at soil level. So the very top part of it, which is interesting. So you got to make sure that's not saturated with water. Be careful with that. That's with any plant. That's a rule of thumb, to be careful with not over watering. And of course, with that being said, that means don't water the top from above, because if not, it's going to get on the leaves. Water directly into the soil, meaning you can push back the leaves and just water right under there, which you'll see me do in a little bit in the video. That's coming up soon, so you can see exactly how. Now maybe don't copy me with my water container, because what I have is a spray bottle that I open up and then I just pour the water in there. I want an actual water herb, but priorities. With that being said, I wanted to share a couple of other alternative watering methods. One of them is just essentially filling the saucer with some water and placing the pot in it and letting it sit for about 15 to 30 minutes, and then of course the water will be absorbed into the soil through the pot's drainage hole. But in order to avoid root rot, don't let it sit for more than 30 minutes. And now another system I want to tell you about is the wicking system, which is putting like a synthetic cord, not a natural one because it'll rot in the pot, inside of the soil, and pushing it down to the bottom and fishing it out through the drainage hole, and placing your pot in a saucer with water and let the water absorb through the cord into the soil. And with that, you can also put a layer of gravel in the saucer to keep the soil from being in direct contact with the water in the saucer. And that method, it's kind of like a self-watering method, because it just does it as it needs it. So whenever it gets basically kind of when you get thirsty and you need some water, so you go and you pick up that water, but you're not attached to the water, so you're not constantly being fed water. You know what I'm saying? You're only drinking it when you need it. That's kind of what's going on with that. And it could also help with the whole humidity issue if you're lacking some humidity in your area. Another thing I found interesting is it's recommended to repot the plant about once a year. This is my first time repotting it since I got it. When I bought Avina, she was already full grown, so I won't be repotting her until next year. As for how big the pot should be, it's recommended that the pot shouldn't be more than a third of the width of the plant's leaf span. So for example, if your plant's leaf span is 12 inches, then put it in a 4-inch pot. You get it? Because 4 times 3, 12. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm glad you got that. Also, when buying soil for your African violet, try to, as it says, stick to a lighter soil mix. So check for a soil mix that has a mixture of peat, perlite, and vermiculite, I think is how it's said. Okay. Or you can do the shit that I do and just get a bag of soil that says for African violets. Makes your life easier, okay? And with that being said, look at our lovely Evina looking beautiful. So y'all go ahead and say bye. Say bye to her, seedlings. And I'll catch you on the next one, okay?